Tihe mauri ora, I sneeze forth the breath of life. Tēnei, te whakatau nei, te ahuatanga o te pātai. There's a question that no doubt everybody continuously asks. Ko iho te atua o te ao Māori. Ko iho ngā mano te atua o te ao Kraitiana. Kai te hono tahi rāua, kai te noho we he rāua rānei. And that question is, it is said that Io is the creator referred to by our ancestors in our traditional Māori spiritual beliefs. And then there is the modern day approach to spirituality, that God, known in Māori as Iho o ngā mano, are they the same or are they uniquely different? Why, how high, I pātai pēnei ai? Why is it that this question has been asked? Nā te mea, ko wēnei whakatipuranga o wēnei rā, kai te pōhe he rātau, ko i o matua, ko i anake, me tōna o wairua, ko iho o ngā mano, ko i anake i roto i tōna ao Kraitiana. The confusion, I think, also, is that some believe that Io is and belongs to the domain of the spiritual Māori belief, and that God is a different and unique spiritual domain also, and belongs in the Christian world. Ko tāku kaupapa mō tātou i roto i ngā huatanga o tēnei kaupapa. For me today, it's going to explore and place down the idea that our ancestors had a superior knowledge of the spiritual worlds in which they were able to exist or coexist in. Kāre he raruraru mo te ahuatanga ki a Io. Kāre he raruraru mo te ahuatanga o iho ngā mano. That actually, because of the universal understanding of spirituality, our ancestors could transform, change and shift and move and have absolute respect. Whether it was from a Māori perspective of spirituality, manatua I use in this context, or whether it was the Christian approach towards our spirituality. And I use the word tahawairua in this context. Ko te whakaaro ia, me tiki nātu ai, he karakia no taku tupuna no ngā toroirangi. Hei whakaatu mai nei, te ihi, te mana, te tapu, me te wairuatanga i mōhi o tia i rātau, i te wai a rātau, e hiko i ana i runga i te mata o te whenua. I found as an example it would be important as an example of one of the incantations of the supreme tohunga of Mātātua and Te Arawa, but mainly also Tainui, Ngā Toroirangi, descending from these three different waka. Tainui, Mātātua and Te Arawa, engari, I haere mai ia, i runga i te waka o Te Arawa, mai tahiti paia ki konei ki Aotearoa Hawaii ki tautau e takotua ki nei. But it is known in our historical archives that he came on board the Te Arawa waka as the supreme tohunga ahurewa, the supreme priest, spiritual leader of the Te Arawa canoe. This karakia was recited by Ngā Toroirangi when the Te Arawa waka was pulled into a whirlpool. Nā te aha, i raru ai, te waka o Te Arawa ki roto i te korokoro o te parata. Well, Ngā Toroirangi would converse with the spiritual, and his younger cousin, Tamata Kapua, would converse with the ladies of his tribe. So they both had a unique role, but they both were different in terms of approach. Nā te mea, he ātāhua ke te wahine o Ngā Toroirangi ara ko Kiaroa. Ka hia tiai, a Tamata Kapua ko ia, hei wahine mana. And that was the actual reason why the trouble started. Tamata Kapua said, my gosh, what a beautiful wife my cousin Ngā Toroirangi has. I would like to meet her and make my acquaintance. And he did. While his karakia was being performed, ngā toroirangi, to the spiritual domain, his cousin Tamata Kapua was enjoying those things of the human side of nature. So this karakia was the karakia that saved the waka. Actually, nearly 108 of the members of the waka were nearly killed. This was a karakia of forgiveness. This was a karakia of new beginnings. This was a karakia to refocus and re-establish their presence in the new homeland of Hawaii ki tautau, also known as Aotearoa. Here is a new home for them. This is an ancient karakia that was recited 800 years ago by ngā toroirangi. Tagina takawa, ko takawa, tuatahi ko takawa, tuarua ko takawa, tuatoru ko takawa, tuawha ko takawa, tuarima ko takawa, tuaona ko takawa, tuawhit ko takawa, tuawaru ko takawa, tuaiwa ko takawa, tuangahuru. Tākina takawa ko takawa, nā wai ko takawa, nā tangaroa ka pipi, ka wawaia, ka hoaia, ka whanake i raro yo, nā tarangatu tuki te rangi. Eke panuku, eke tangaroa, ui e, taiki e. Enuhia te pau, ko te pau mua, ko te pau roto, ko te pau te wharau, hea te rangi ka mamau. Eke iho ki runga I te ara tā kiki whara ko te ara o ngā toroirangi. Ko te ara whanau ki te pō, ko te pō nui, ko te pō roa, ko te pō mātirerau, ko te pō matawhai ariki o tōku waka o te ara ngahu I te parata. Eke tangaroa, eke panuku, eke tangaroa, whanau, hara mai te toki o haumi e, ui e, taiki e. In the karakia that was recited, and the last part of the karakia, I changed the terminology, eke panuku, eke tangaroa. Karakia is the direct connection spiritually that we can converse and communicate with the Creator, Iho. We can connect and have a direct communication spiritually with the creation, with the cosmos, with darkness emerging into light, and then ranginui and papatuanuku. This karakia was recited by ngā toroirangi to call upon the natural tempests of the wind, that being under the domain of Tāwhiri Mātea and Hinepuhurangi. This karakia was also a direct link to the ocean and the korokoro o te parata, which is the whirlpool. By his power of that karakia, could actually make the sea calm to become a whirlpool. And that is the power and energy of Tangaroa and Hine Moana. So this karakia talks about recitation of the rituals, the recitation of the ancient world, the recitation that connected us to the sky, the earth, and the environment. Ngā toroirangi's medium between him and the spiritual world was Aitūpawa. Aitūpawa was the connection between ngā toroirangi directly and Tangaroa. Aitūpawa was the connection to ngā toroirangi and Tāwhiri Mātea. So when that karakia was recited, it was a karakia to calm and make safe the journey of the waka of Te Arawa from Tahiti to here to Aotearoa. It was stated I roto I ngā kōrero a Te Arawa, ka karangatia tana wahine ki aia, e ngā toroirangi ko tā ki aroa kōrero, e tatana ka pā mai te pai urunga o ki aroa ki te moana. It was stated that ki aroa reached out and said to ngā toroirangi, look, my husband, my pillow is just about touching the ocean. And so with that karakia, these tempests and also the ocean was made calm instantly. From being a roaring thrashing of waves and also a storm that was just about pulling the Te Arawa waka in. Nā te mana o te karakia nei, I karakia tiae ngā toroirangi, I tau ai te marino, i whakapapapaunamu te moana, ka tau te rongo take ki runga i te iwi. So that tohunga Ngātoroirangi was the supreme priest of his tribe, particularly Ngāti Oho Mairangi. And he had the power also to converse with the geothermal fault line. While he was climbing the mountain Tongariro, he was overcome with extreme cold. Kaue atu rā ia ki ona tua hine kia te huata kia te pupu, kia heria mai te ahi te wā kāinga, ki te whakamaha ana i tōna pikitanga ke i te maunga o Tongariro. Nā te karakia kia te huata kia te pupu, i whakaora i te pikitanga ke o Ngātoroirangi, ki runga i te maunga o Tongariro. So his power and ability through the power of karakia, the energy, the vibrations, the source of all power of spiritual intervention was that which enabled him to call upon the geothermal fault line and actually communicate and converse with the geothermal fault line, bringing that direct energy to him as he was freezing cold and climbed the mountain Tongariro. So that was the type of karakia that our ancestors were able to have, that type of energy and connection and influence in the environment. Nō reira, ko Io matua kore te atua o ngā mea katoa. It is said that Io is the creator of all things. He maha ona ingoa tapu. Arā ko Io take. Io had many sacred names. One of his names was Io, the foundation of all things. Io te waiora, the life giver of all things. Io matua, the parent of all things. Io te toi o ngā rangi. Io, the presence. He is omnipresent. She is omnipresent. That the spiritual vibration of Io exists everywhere. I runga, above. I raro, below. Ngā mea ka kitea i te taha wairua, the things that can be seen in the spiritual world, ngā mea e kore kitea i roto i te taha wairua, and those things that can't be seen, also in the spiritual world. Nā, ka puta ki waho, ko te pū, te more, te web, te aka, te rea, te wā nui, te kune, te whea, te kore, te pō. Te pō kā moi a te rangi pua, te rangi ko rangi nui e tū nei, te pō kā moi, te pō kā rapa ke, ko papatua nuku e takoto nei. So the evolution of the creation of Io then created Father Sky, or the universe rangi nui, papatua nuku, Mother Earth below. And then from their energies, created the natural world in which we live. Ko tāne, the forests, and hine wauriki. Ko Tangaroa, the ocean, and hine moana, the female energy, the connection to the ocean. Also, tawhiri matea and hine puhurangi, all the different tempests and the winds. Tū matawenga rao ko hine te mairu, the strength that is in all things in nature. Rongo mātāne, Arawa, ko hine whakatipu, and also and hine pani tinaku and haumia tike. Cultivated foods, uncultivated foods, and those things that grow naturally from the earth. Whiro te tipua rāua ko hine nui te pō, and also the negative energy that came from the origins, from whiro, and also hine nui te pō. Ruai moko roa, rāua ko mahuika, and then ruai mokoro and mahuika. So the energies that were created, Io, the creator, is omnipresent and is created to all things by that energy, through that energy. Ka rehe timatanga, ka rehe whakamutunga, o te ao, ka ora tonu ai, te ao mua ke tonu atu. So the world in which we live is continuous and has no end. Nā Io matua kore, and then coming through that whakapapa line from Io to Rangi and Papa, they begat Tāne, and they begat Tāne Tutu, who had Tāne Pepeke, Tāne Wetika, Tāne Uaha, Tāne Nui Arangi, who begat Māhinai Teata, Tiki Nui, Tiki Roa, Tiki Whakaringaringa, Tiki Whakawaiwai, Tiki Hahana, Tiki Hayata, Whakarau Mātangi, ko Hawaiki, ko Kune, ko Anga, ko Tohu, ko ngai nui, ko ngai roa, ko ngai peha, ko ngai ariki, ko ngai take, ko ngai te hurumanu, ko Toi, who begat Awa Nui Arangi. From Toi, Remember the connection to io coming down to us. Peke rawa nuiarangi who beget Mākura Tawhiti. Mākura Tawhiti married Oho Mairangi and beget Ua Muturangi, who beget Taunga Tapu, who beget Mawake Atua, who beget Uruika, who beget Rangi Tapu, who beget Atua Matua, who beget Akauri, who married Mōrunga i te Rangi, sister of Toroa, sister of Muriwai, sister of Puhi, and then beget Ngā Toroirangi, the tohunga whom this karakia was recited. Ngā Toroirangi beget Tangihia, who e Tangi Moana ka Hukurāriki, Rangi Taku Mō, Mawake Nui, Mawake Roa, Mawake Taupō, Tūwhare Toa, and Tūwhare Toa was born. Tūwhare Toa here in Ngāti Awa, Tūwhare Toa here in Kawerau, Tūwhare Toa in Taupō. Tūwhare Toa beget rongo mai te ngangana who beget tū tapiria, rongo te ahu piri, tūnono who beget umutahi. Who married Rangi Pare, who beget Rākau Māua, who beget Puki Puki, te Paitata, the ancestral meeting house, o te marae kunei, ara ko i Rāmoko. Te Paitata ka moia i Rāmoko, ka putaki wā, ko te haupuangiangi, beget te haupuangiangi, te Ramāpukura Pinohi, te Wairerea Hiahi. Te Wairerea Hiahi, ana beget te Ramāpukura, who beget te Ngako Te Rangi, who beget Tuakāpapa, who beget te Ngako Te Rangi, Waiparapara, te Whaleraupo a Mohaere, coming down from a Mohaere to Mihipeka, a Mohaere ko hau tēnei ko Pouroto. So the connection of karakia gives us the connection of karakia gives us the direct line of descent from the Creator to these prominent ancestors down to us. So karakia is a healing connection. Karakia, kia haumaru ai, keeps everyone safe and protected. Karakia is an opportunity for us to express our spiritualness. Ahakoa he ha te kaupapa I roto I tēnei au. Doesn't matter where we are or the kaupapa we're involved with. Nō reira, ko tēnei a tēnei tauira. Kātahi ka huri ana ki te ao karaipiture. E ai ki ngā kōrero ko iho o ngā mano ko iho matua kore. It is said that in the Christian world, the terminology that is used for the Creator is God, the omnipresent one, the Creator of all things. Our ancestors had no qualms at all in shifting between the two spiritual spheres. Nā te mea ko tahi tonu te atua, because in their worldview, in their perspective, there was only one Creator, one source. Nō reira he māmā noiho te huringa, mai io kia iho ngā mano. I roto I wēnei rā, kai te pātai tia te pātai. It is asked in this generation, is io the same as God? Is God the same as io? Me pēnei te kōrero. Me ki ko io anō ko iho ngā mano. Ko iho anō ngā mano ko io. If we have an understanding of the universal spiritual belief of all things, that we aren't the only culture that has an understanding of the Supreme Being. Every culture does. So there's only one source. Engari, he rere ke ngā ingo o te atua, engari ko tahi tonu te huarahi. There are different names to express our connection to our Creator. Yeah, there's many different names, but there's only one pathway to the spiritual origins of our Creator. The tahawairu of the spiritual side and the mana atua are both acknowledging mana atua to be empowered and connected to the Creator of all things. Our tahawairu is our spiritual essence that acknowledges that our spiritual side or our spiritual being that lives within us is the same as mana atua, just different terminologies and different expressions of the same source, of the same atua. Now, we look at the word atua, our ancestors were quite firm and clear that there's no such thing as demigods or departmental gods. In fact, atua, when you look at the terminology and the expression and its definition, means ha is another word for a. So atua means the spiritual presence of io, or God, that exists in all things. Atua koranginui, the spiritual presence of the Creator, io, that exists in the heavens. Tua, Papatuanuk, the spiritual presence of the Creator, Io, that exists in the earth. There's no departmental, it's the recognition of the Spirit of the Creator that exists in all things. Tangaroa, Tua, that the Spirit of the Creator, Io, exists in the forest. Tua, Tangaroa, that the Spirit of the Creator, Io, exists in the ocean. Tua, Ruai Mokoroa, that the Spirit of the Creator, Io, exists in the geothermal fault line, the heart of the earth. Tua, Korongo Mātāne, that the Spirit of the Creator exists in all foods. Tua, Haumia Tige Tige, that the Spirit of the Creator that comes from beyond is in all things that grow naturally from the earth. Tua, Tāwhiri Mātea, that the Spirit of the Creator is in the winds, the breath of life. Tua, Whiro, that the spiritual presence of the Creator coming from beyond, tua means beyond, exists in all negative energy. Ko te huarahi o te pai, ko te huarahi o te kino. Wherever there is the pathway of negativity, there is also the pathway of positivity. Io means the balance between those two paths. Io means the balance of all things in life. So that's really a high level of understanding of mana atua, the empowerment of our spiritual connection, to this sort of contemporary world, taha wairua, recognising our spiritual side and the connection of both these worlds in the reality of there only being one atua. Hei whakaaro ake. Hei whakaaro ake. Mena ka titiro tātou ki ngā taha wairuatanga o te ao, ngā mana atu o te ao, anei wetahi tauira. Mena ka huri atu tātou, ara ki te mautere o hāmoa, kia rātou ko te atua ko ole sā. So every culture in the world has their own expression for the Creator, one source. Ole sā is known as the Creator, Io, God, in Samoa. Ka huri tātou ki Tahiti, ko iho iho. We look at the example of the spiritual beliefs in Tahiti, iho iho is the term used for the Creator there. Ka huri ki te whenua o Iharaira, when we look at the Promised Land, the Hebrew belief is that the Creator is Jehovah. Ka huri tātou ki te whenua o Honu, when we look at the indigenous people of te whenua Honu, Great Turtle Island, or known today as America, ko io kia rātou ko Gucci Manatu. So to the indigenous people of America, the Creator for the Creator's name, and Io's name, and Jehovah's name, and Iho Iho's name, and Ole Sā's name is Gucci Manatu. Ka huri tātou ara ki te whenua o Hawaii, kia rātou ara ko Iolani. So the Creator, Io or Jehovah for Samoa is Ule Sā, but then when you go to the island of Hawaii, it's known as Iolani. So I just wanted to make that point that the spiritual Creator and creation, there is only one source, but there are many unique ways of how we make those connections. Kia hau, kei a koe te tikanga, ko te hea tāu e whakapono ai. Ko te hea tāu e whakapono ai. So, is Io the same as Iho ngā mano? In my opinion, yes. Is Io the same as Ole Sā? Well, yes. The same source, but different name to express the same source. Is Io the same as the Hebrew nation in the Holy Land of Israel? Well, yes. Jehovah is the same as Ole Sā. Jehovah is the same as Io. Ka huri kia Iolani in Hawaii. Is Jehovah the same as Iolani? Well, yes, they are. There's only one creator, but uniquely different names of expression. Nō reira, koe rā tāku mō tēnei whakatipuranga. Kaua rawa e takataka hia te mana atua te taha wairu o te tahi atu. I think what's important today is that there is a universal understanding of connection. That we have different ways of expressing the Creator, but we have uniquely different pathways to get to the same source. That Io, in my opinion, is the same as God. That God is the same source as Io. That God and Io are the same as Gucci Manatu of the American Indians over in the Great Turtle Island. That Io, Jehovah, and Gucci Manatu is the same as the Atu in Samoa, Ole Sa. In the end, kai a koe te tikanga. It's up to your teachings that you've been nurtured with. There are some that karakau he whakapono, karakau he manatua, karakau hoki he taha wairua, ka re heaha, ka whānau mai, ka mate ko mate. There's some people that are born atheists. Actually, they have no beliefs at all in anything. They're born, live, die, gone. So each of us will have our own unique expression in terms of our spiritual beliefs. The important thing is not to trample and put down the spiritual beliefs of another. The karakia tawhito I recited is an example of Ngā Toroirangi and the supreme knowledge that they had of the environment and the connections around them. Hei tauira, i te wā, i tukuna mai, te atua tana tama kotahi a he hukaraiti ki tēnei ao. It is said that Christianity is an important phase because it was the introduction of Christ. Christ means the new beginning. Christ means the Messiah. Christ means the spiritual presence of Atua being born into the physical world, to move amongst the people. The Messiah talks about a new opportunity of hope, a new opportunity to be reborn. And I think that's what's the important thing about any of our spiritual beliefs, is why are we here? What is our purpose? And then eventually, to fulfill that purpose, and I suppose we are born to live, to love, to learn, to leave a legacy, and then pass on. Many wars have been fought over religions and beliefs. Many wars have been fought in terms of spirituality. But mina ko tahi tonu te wairuatanga, aha ko waitingo te atua. Ma te wairua tātou e whakakotahi. That even though there are unique spiritual beliefs around us everywhere in the world, don't let be the spiritual of attitudes of humans be that actually separates us. Inara, let the spirituality of our beliefs be that actually unifies us as one people. Hei whakamutu atu, tēnei karakia, hei whakātu atu. E tō mātou matu e te rangi, kia tapu tō ingoa, kia tai mai tō rangatiratanga, kia me tia tau e pai ai ki runga I te whenua, kia rite anō ki tō te rangi, o mai kia mātou ai nei, he taro mo mātou mo tēnei rā, muru o mātou hara, me mātou hoki e muru nei o te hunga hara ana kia mātou, au ki mātou e kawea kia whakawaia, engari whakaorangi a mātou I te kino, nau hoki te rangatiratanga, te kaha me te kororia, ake, amene. It is said, the Lord's Prayer is also in Christianity one of the most powerful prayers, that the Lord's Prayer that exists in Christianity is the most powerful prayer that is. Our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Whatever we do in life, know that the spiritual presence of the Creator is always amongst us. That's what the first line is telling us. Our Father who art in heaven. the Creator that is in all things, that is omnipresent. Hallowed be thy name. I praise, I give thanks, and I acknowledge and respect your presence. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. That actually, during this life, let me prepare for that afterlife, but let me live it in the reality of now, in everything that I do in my life. My working life, my education life, my whānau life, my marae life, my community life. Whatever life we live, let it be done. That all the good values and principles that we have, let them exist in everything that I do. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread. Be grateful for everything that we have. The environment was given to us. Food that's put on tables for us to eat and sustain ourselves. Transport, clothes, people, everything that's been given in our daily lives, do not take it for granted. Actually be grateful for what we have. And then it says the daily sustenance must be supported by the spiritual sustenance. And then it talks about our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread. That's important. Be thankful. Forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. You know, it's easy to criticize. It's easy to put down. It's easy to be negative. It's easy to say, nah, you're nothing. You're worthless. I don't have to acknowledge who you are. Well, negativity is an easy thing to do. The greatest thing of all is to actually live a righteous life. Tika, being correct in everything that you do. Pono, applying your faith in everything that you believe. Because whether you have a karakia tawhito, or whether you have the Lord's Prayer, if you have no pono in it, to make it whakapono, then it's actually pono kore. Because it's actually your belief and what you believe in that actually gives power and meaning to your prayer and into your lives. As we forgive those who trespass against us, it's actually hard to forgive. It's easy to throw stones and rocks and kill and do all the negative things, which we do quite well as humans, as ira tangata, ki te ao maramane. But it's harder to live a more righteous life. It's harder to live in peace and love. It's harder to live in a place of respect. It's harder to actually be humble. People don't like to be humble. They like their voices to be heard. They like to stand above everybody else. They actually don't like lifting the mana of other people to stand above them, when that's what we should be doing. And forgiving people if they do wrong, and not judging people for what they do wrong. Who are we to judge others? Really? Po kokohu, I don't agree with that thought. So, as we forgive those who trespass against us, and lead us not into temptation, and it's easy to be tempted by the weakness of the flesh. We're all weak. And that's one of the biggest challenges. That one of the biggest things that we do in life is our temptations that we can't control. Like, for example, people like food and they keep eating and they become a glutton. They have diabetes, sugar diabetes. They're looking like a giant house. That's what I'm saying, because they can't control their food temptation. And then there's alcohol, where people don't like to drink in moderation. Oh, they want to party not 1 week, but 2 weeks. Not one night, but 10 nights. So, the temptation of gluttony, not only in food and alcohol, is the same as when people love fizzy drinks. I'm the same. I love the fizzy drinks. They don't know when to stop. They keep going and going and going. Bang, sugar spike right up to the roof. So, the temptations are so easy for us to get carried away, to have no balance in life. And one of the biggest other demons that we face, the temptations, is seduction. Not only in terms of wanting someone else's wife or husband. The people aren't happy with their marriage. They don't want one wife, they want 10 wives. They don't want one husband, they want 10 husbands. But no, we should be content with what we have. Really in life, the temptations in life are so powerful. What I'm trying to say is that we need to balance. Io means that. God means to be in balance. That we shouldn't, be greedy. It's really about greed. Can't we be happy with just what we got? And be at peace with that? And so that's what it's saying. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. I'm going to recite it. Give us this day our daily bread and forgive us our trespasses. We forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation. Powerful. Don't be tempted. But if you are, have discipline. If you are, have love. If you are, be kind. If you are, be humble. And express unity in all the things. If there's no unity and there's disrespect and there's division, then your action is worthless. The temptations, as we forgive those who trespass against us, and lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. Make sure that we're protected from anything that may harm us. As we forgive those who trespass against us, and lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. Beautiful, beautiful words. For thine is the kingdom, the power, listen to that, and the glory, forever and ever, amen. What that's saying, that if we live a good life, if we do good things, then, it's simple, like this. If you want to be a monkey, hang out with the monkeys. If you want to be an eagle, hang out with the eagles. If you want a good, righteous life, then hang out with those that are going to empower your good, righteous values. You are what you are. You are what you are. Kaya koe te mana. You have the power to make those realities in your life a reality or not. Nō reira ka mutu rā, taku kōrero ki reira, ko iho ngā mano, ko tahi tonu te atua. And my summary of this important kaupapa today, that all spiritual beliefs are important. That iho in God, ko tahi tonu te puna o te mātauranga, ko tahi tonu te puna o te timatanga. There's only one source of knowledge and one source of origin. E whakakotahi nei a tātou katoa that unifies us all. Ke kotahi ai te iwi as one people. Tēnā koutou, mai e te tupua, mai e te tawhito, mai e te kahui o ngā ariki, mai e tawhiwi atu ki arongo. Whanō tū mai te mauri o io, o iho ngā mano. Haumi e, hui e, taiki e.